Greetings, my friends. I want to thank you all for subscribing. I want to thank all of my channel members for supporting me in this endeavor to save pop culture. And if you are not subscribed, please consider supporting this channel. We need you. Thank you. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, broadcasting from my hidden base at the center of the Earth. And I am here today because there's a very real possibility that Shatner could play Captain Kirk one more time. And this information comes from none other than William Shatner himself. Yesterday, when I was negotiating with King Uka Luka to cease hostilities with the Magma Men out along that volcanic vent over on the Eastern Ridge, I suddenly started getting emails and urgent DMs from our own Mexican Iron Man regarding a post from William Shatner on X that has stirred up a lot of excitement. And here's what that post said. Well, I don't know if you heard, I've been approached to resurrect Kirk. It's all still up in the air, or is it buried under some rocks? Whichever the case, I'm waiting to hear what the folks at Paramount have to say. To which I reply, holy shit, folks! The mind boggles at the prospect of William Shatner returning to the captain's chair one more time to right the grave injustice done to Kirk in that disgracefully mediocre Generations movie so many years ago. As all of you regular viewers of my channel know, Captain Kirk is my childhood hero. Indeed, my lifetime hero. Kirk represents everything I want to be. The ideal male role model, a rugged individualist and natural-born leader with charisma, compassion, resourcefulness, a sense of humor, and a stubborn refusal to take death as an answer. Plus, he's also a ladies' man, which scores high on my list of manly traits to emulate. Kirk is also the bane of snowflakes everywhere, a toxic cis-white male, an istophobe, blah, blah, blah. Yet more reasons to call Kirk, oh Captain, my Captain. In this testosterone-deprived pop culture era, a man's man like Kirk is more needed than ever, and thus his return to the role that made him not only famous, but a living legend should be cause for unbridled joy. And yet, my friends, I feel equal parts elation and fear at this news.
How can that possibly be, Doomcock? Kirk is your favorite pop culture character of all time. Shouldn't you be cheering your tin-plated head off at the prospect of them digging Captain Kirk out of that pile of rubble Malcolm McDowell buried him under, giving him a proper ending befitting a hero?
Hey, listen, I hear you, Harvey Cthulhu. Certainly, if it were the people behind the amazing unification video that used incredible technology to return various iterations of Captain Kirk to life in a touching reunion with Spock, well, I'd certainly be all for that. The technology used in unification to convincingly portray Shatner in his younger iterations was nothing less than astonishing. To have Shatner return in a movie or series in that form would be spectacular, and I would support it wholeheartedly. Unification was a deeply moving and singular experience that blew Star Trek fans away. If those guys, or some other producer using that technology in conjunction with them, were to give us a well-written, reverent, and respectful curtain call for Kirk, it would be a miracle that might just save the franchise. And yes, my friends, more than ever in its entire history, the Star Trek franchise needs saving, and badly. Following its cancellation in the late 60s and into the 70s, Star Trek Lives was the battle cry of the fandom. Defiant, hopeful, and stubborn, much like Kirk himself. But now, my friends, I would hesitate to wear a t-shirt that said Star Trek Lives on it for fear of being laughed at, because I no longer believe it's true. It's obvious from the unification video that the filmmakers had reverence and love for Kirk and Spock, two qualities completely lacking from the individuals at Secret Hideout who have crucified the Star Trek franchise since Star Trek Discovery, or as I call it, STD, since 2017. Their version of Star Trek is a hateful, hideous parody of Gene Roddenberry's optimistic future, destroying pretty much every canonical element of Star Trek that came before. giving Spock a human sister, a learning disability, creating weird orc-like Kling orcs, inventing cloaking devices instead of the Romulans, despite being apparently unable to invent light bulbs. Look at those torches, my friends. Good Lord. You had sonar in space, an AI determined to learn all about AI so it could become an AI even though it already was an AI because it had the desire to be an AI and wouldn't if it weren't already an AI. On and on and on. Layers of stupidity, ugliness, violence, and outright nonsense. That's what they've turned Star Trek into in recent years. And if that's what's being offered to Shatner, to return in another secret hideout vehicle, then I'd rather he said no thanks, because more is not always better. Yesterday, when I finally checked in to see this post for myself on X, I couldn't have been prouder that the first 3 replies I saw so eloquently expressed my own feelings on the matter. Packing Protons says, so long as it's not Kurtzman and the killers of the franchise currently running it, I'm all for one last run. You need real fans who understand Trek to write it. Well said, Packing Protons. Mr. Peckerwood says, as much as I would love to see you as Kirk again, I would say pass. Paramount turned the Star Trek over to fools. The character of Captain Picard was turned into an insufferable cyborg, robbed of the humanity that made the character great. Don't let Kirk suffer the same fate. Bravo, Mr. Peckerwood, bravo. And Louise X. Sparrow says they are not capable of doing justice to any Star Trek anymore, let alone Captain Kirk. I would love it to be great, but I fear it will be hateful. Please don't sign anything until you know exactly what they're planning. Outstanding post, Louise. Thank you very much for that. I can only hope and pray that William Shatner read those posts.
Yes, well, we all saw what they did to Picard. Picard was a doddering fool, going around and apologizing to Romulans for Starfleet's shortcomings, taking crap from female admirals, spitting in his face and accusing him of sheer effing hubris. They killed him off, and the Picard you saw in seasons 2 and 3 was a robot simulacrum of Picard. Who wants to see them do that to Kirk?
No one who loves Kirk, that's for sure, O Skull of Calderon. Picard will never be the same again after Patrick Stewart threw his lot in with that crew. Secret Hideout turned Picard into a dead man in a can, wandering through a series of silly, stupid, nonsensical, ugly plots in a dark universe. Literally dark. Like they couldn't even turn the damn lights on. In Picard Season 3, they showed a shot of Kirk's remains displayed like a specimen jar in a museum. Typical Kurtzman Trek treatment for classic characters. If the idea is to tie into that, to bring Kirk into this dark parody universe so that they can rewrite his history and turn him into a sad joke just like they did to Spock and Picard, then no. It's a hard pass for me. A hard pass. I won't even watch it to review the damn thing. But if Skydance or some other entity not guilty of destroying Trek over the past 8 years wants to bring Kirk back with the love and respect that is his due, bring it on, my friends. I am on board with that. And I would love dearly to have the chance to see Kirk cheat death one more time. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doom Cock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry.
Ha 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 ha.